Let's jump into this first story. We got this on Twitter itself from Elon Musk. He says, I'm excited to welcome Linda Yadarino as the new CEO of Twitter. Linda Yak will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on product design and new technology. Looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. Okay, well, here you go. Here's I guess maybe I can shrink this so you can see it better. Apparently not. Well, you can see right here, World Economic Forum. This is from her LinkedIn. Executive Chair, January 2019 to present. I took a screenshot of this because I don't want to show the rest of her private details, but I think this is particularly relevant and publicly available. Yadarino is the chairman of the World Economic Forum's Task Force on the Future of Work and sits on the WEF's Media, Entertainment, and Culture Industry Governors Steering Committee. She is also highly engaged with the Value in Media initiative. Immediately, I don't trust her. I like Elon Musk. I think he's doing a lot of really important things. I think SpaceX is one of the most important things humanity is doing, period. And I think him buying Twitter was already very, very good. But I think this is a huge mistake, if only because he has shattered confidence in the platform to the point where I have pulled up right now the Verified Org's subscription plan. And before I clicked deactivate our account, which would suspend payments to Twitter for the corporate benefits for Twitter Blue and verification, I decided to put a poll up, and it's already sitting at 70% saying, yes, we should terminate our subscription to Twitter over this. So I'm curious what you guys think.
I mean, I think that we have to be honest with who Elon Musk is. You know, we were talking about how we like to glob on to someone who we believe is a conservative because they agree with one of our values. And he's been very adamant that he wants free speech, but he's also a globalist. We know this. I mean, he's made that very clear. So we can't expect that Twitter is going to be this place that's not going to be leaning that way, or that he's not going to be leaning that way. So I think you have to do what you think is right for your company, and for your company, this is not where you are.
For obvious reasons, I'm not concerned about whether or not Elon's conservative, right? I argue with Seamus over abortion, but I think in the modern culture war, in our current culture war, the traditional pro-choice position is substantially closer to pro-life than the left's current position on abortion up to the point of birth, which is terrifying to me. So it seems like they're creating this, the culture war has created this perception that liberals and conservatives are almost the same thing because of how radically different they are. But if Elon Musk comes out and says, I'm going to give the libertarians, disaffected liberals, conservatives, the right to speak on this platform, we think it's a good thing. The issue for me is appointing this woman says to me, party's over, honeymoon's over, the censorship will slowly start creeping back in, and we are going right back to the beginning.
I think that, liberalism has a weakness in that it does take other philosophies at their face value as if they are honest. And right now, the woke mind virus, whatever you want to call it, the current popular brand of leftism is subversive. It's intentionally subversive. So if a liberal takes them at face value, you often end up with Mott and Bailey arguments. You often end up with all kinds of emotional arguments because the left doesn't fundamentally believe the same things that liberals do. Elon Musk is a liberal. He believes that open dialogue is always good. And I think that it is, but you have to understand that just because you're liberal, everyone around you is not liberal. Like, people believe that they're liberal. Nowadays, there are people that will say they're liberal, and then they will go ahead and advocate for authoritarian type policies, like, clamping down on free speech. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't have this opinion. That's a bad thing. And I don't know if Elon is as aware as he needs to be of how dangerous and how intentionally subversive the left is nowadays. You can't take people like that at their word because they play with meanings, they play with definitions. And I think that if he's aware, it's possible that he could navigate that. But it's not easy because people like that will tend to find other people like that share their opinions, and they'll invite them in and hire them. And that's what happened in colleges and in education. That's why you have such a monolithic ideology coming out of colleges now.
Yeah. So I want to pull up this article from Vox.com. Who is Linda Yadarino, Elon Musk's pick for the new Twitter CEO? And they mention that, here, let me just read this. It says, although Yadarino is not vocal about her political beliefs, it is well known in the advertising community that she's conservative. According to several sources, she served on former President Donald Trump's Council on Sports and Nutrition, and many have noted that she likes and follows conservative accounts on Twitter. But she's also drawn flack from the right. Some of the more extreme right-wing Twitter influencer accounts have criticized her for praising diversity in the workforce and for being chair of the task force on the future of work at the World Economic Forum, which they view as an elitist organization. I mean, that's putting it lightly.
They view as, if you can't go to the meetings and just show up, it is.
Well, it's a globalist, secretive elitist. But if she's a conservative, is it a good thing? Is it a bad? Is her participation in the World Economic Forum disqualifying because we don't trust the World Economic Forum, the Davos Group, and their policies? What if she's actually a conservative, which means we're going to get more right-leaning or center-ish policies?
I think it calls for serious scrutiny. Serious scrutiny. I'm not ready to just swear off and say, screw off. It's time to go jump into the old bunker and expect the bombs to start falling in the end of the world. But it is completely reasonable to look at this person and say, look, your history and things that you've said in videos, I've seen clips and stuff that have been put up on Twitter already, things that she's said, she is very, very suspect. So scrutiny.
I guess the idea is she is well known in the advertising community. And so Elon's view most likely is that she's going to restore faith and bring for the advertisers and bring them back to the platform. But there's only one way you do that, and that's caving to woke nonsense.
Well, how involved do you think he is at this point? I mean, you can get rid of a CEO. She's going to be tested. We're all going to make it known if we don't like her. I think it's going to be interesting because to be CEO, we shouldn't be judging. Are you conservative? Are you liberal? Are you a good manager of something like this? And this is a business. If she's managing it well, then it shouldn't be that she's going after people for their ideology. Now, I don't know if she is in the situation of being a chair of the World Economic Forum, if she's able to pull herself away from that and look at this from a business venture standpoint. Because if you're a good business person, the majority of businesses across the world do not look at things politically. We think they do because we see the Bud Lights of the world. But most companies are like, stay out of the political. Let's make a profit. Let's make it work.
Let me pull up this tweet from billboardchris, who responded to Elon Musk. He said, during her interview with you, she was most excited about your initiative to limit reach of tweets, which are deemed hateful, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. In fact, that was her main selling point to the advertising execs in the audience, and she kept coming back to it. She went on to chastise you twice for tweeting after 3 a.m. because people are concerned about that sort of behavior. What? She also wanted advertising execs to be part of an influence council within Twitter. She's not here to improve the user experience. She wants Twitter to be a safe space. She represents advertisers, and her natural inclination is to limit speech and pander to those who push woke ideology on the world. You will have to watch her like a hawk. She was also thrilled to spend $100 million on social justice initiatives at NBC, and forwarded government authoritarian propaganda that the way back to a normal life was to wear your mask. No doubt she'll bring in advertising revenue in the short term, but she's a long-term mistake. Elon responded and said, I hear your concerns, but don't judge too early. I am adamant about defending free speech, even if it means losing money. Well, I'm going to put it this way. I believe the preliminary view with her resume is that I should not be giving Twitter any money. And if she then proves she's doing right by the company, then I'll give the company money. So I've already given Twitter some money, signing up for the verified organizations and Twitter Blue for the company. It's relatively expensive. Bringing this woman on, I feel is a very big risk. I don't want to fuel any more of this ESG woke garbage. If this woman works the World Economic Forum, which is a major proponent of this stuff, I am going to limit my giving them money. Maybe in a couple months, I will revisit the prospect of signing back up if she's doing a good job. But this is, I feel like it's, whether it's a betrayal of trust or not is irrelevant. I feel like it's just advertisers leave. Elon says we got to make money. I say, don't worry. I'll give you money, Elon. I believe in what you're doing. He then says, okay, welcome the World Economic Forum chair on the future of work. And I say, oh, okay, well, now I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know if I believe in it. I don't want to give these people money.
Well, okay, so let's go a little deeper on the advertisers leaving thing, because why are advertisers leaving anything that is considered conservative, and why are we allowing these threats? And I think that
activists.
But they're getting them deplatformed, debanked, all of these things. And so why are we, I see politicians going after individual businesses, and I say, why aren't we going after these people that are debanking, the banks that are debanking? Why aren't we making this illegal? Instead of going after case by case and trying to hit the business, go after the source of the problem and stop that from happening. So we don't end up having people go, I'm going to hire somebody that I think can get marketer, that I think can get advertisers, because advertisers are so finicky. Why are they finicky? Because we are allowing this bullying system that is really stopping people from being able to bank. I mean, if you debank someone, they're toast.
Yeah.
So where are all of the politicians that are going, whoa, we can't allow this to continue happening?
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.